This is ABTV, Animal Bites Television.
Take a look at this gorgeous animal. This is actually called a lightning pied. I'm actually north of Toronto at Markus Jayne's place. He has an amazing ball python collection and a couple other really cool snakes. And to show you first, this happens to be a lightning piebald ball python. Now it's an axanthic ball python. What gets a little tricky is that there's actually three types of axanthics out there. There's of course the Markus Jayne line, the VPI line, and the Snake Keeper line. Sadly, none of them are compatible. And with this animal, it has a really cool story. When Mark bred two pies together, unbeknownst to him, they were both het for his line axanthic, and he popped out this gorgeous axanthic pied that he calls a lightning pied. And basically, an axanthic is just lacking that yellow pigment, giving it almost that newspaper look, and that next to that super high white, holy cow, this is a cool animal. I'm going to be just kind of looking around here, showing you guys some cool ball pythons and a few other snakes, not to mention you're going to get a chance to meet Mark himself, the man behind all these cool animals. This is going to be a fun day. My name is Brian Barczyk. I'm no zoologist, just a guy with a passion for animals. And that passion often takes me on animal adventures around the world. This week, I'm north of Toronto, Canada, visiting Mark Mandic from Markus Jayne Ball Pythons. You're watching Snake Bites. The thing that's really amazing about Mark's kind of philosophy when it comes to reptile breeding is that he works with really specific animals, trying to really make the best of what he can have. So rather than doing tons and tons of volume, but trust me, he has a lot of snakes, the fact is he's really going for quality, and he's really trying to make animals not only look beautiful as babies, but also as adults. That's kind of an attitude that a lot of breeders don't have, and I find it really amazing. And I want to just talk about this animal and how he's kind of transcended into another area with this animal here. This happens to be an Albino Cinnamon. Now, they've been around for quite a while. The albino is recessive and the cinnamon is a co-dominant animal, and they're beautiful in their own right. As babies, they're even better. As they get bigger, they fade out a little bit. I still think they're absolutely gorgeous animals, but Mark, again, is trying to make an animal that's going to be gorgeous as an adult. So what does he do? He adds a little bit to the Albino Cinnamon to make a really beautiful animal. I'm about to show you that animal right now. So this is the animal I was talking about. Again, the Albino Cinnamon is a beautiful snake, but when it gets older, it does fade out a little bit, turns a little bit white, and isn't as striking as a baby. So what did Mark do? He added a toffee gene into it. Now, the toffee gene is interesting in the fact that it is a recessive trait, but when you breed it to an albino, it's allelic, so you'll get what they call a toffino. So this animal is actually a toffino cinnamon. So it just has that one added gene. And again, interestingly enough, right off the bat, you don't have to get a heterozygous thing. When you breed a toffee to an albino, you're going to get this purpley looking snake. And again, as an adult, that is one impressive snake. So you kind of get an idea where Mark's going, right? He wants animals to look beautiful as babies, but he really wants to be beautiful when they're adults. Because let's face it, the longest you're going to have the animal is when it's an adult, not a baby, right? And this animal is stunning. So Mark, first off, thanks so much for having us out today and just kind of checking the place out. It's truly amazing. And we've known each other for, what, 15 years?
15 years, yeah.
It's been a long time. And tell me a little bit what the fascination was, in particular with ball pythons.
The fascination came about from my daughter, and I discovered ball pythons, and I thought, wow, these things are just amazing. I mean, it was truly one of those things that when you're holding it, you're blown away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
living art.
Yeah, it was living, but it was a normal. It was a normal snake.
Wow.
But still, I was absolutely fascinated by these animals, as was my wife Jayne. Mm-hmm. And when I jump into something, I dive in.
Yeah,
I dive in. It just grew from there. And what I always tell people about this industry is it always gives you something to look forward to. And if you're going to be happy in life, you have to put something in your path that you look forward to. Yeah. This does that. Mm-hmm. It does it tenfold. You buy hatchlings, you grow them up, and now I'm hatching hatchlings, obviously. But in the beginning, you grow them up, they mature, you breed them, you see the breeding, you see the ovulation, you see the pre-lay shed, you see the eggs. Yep. Then, you've got the 54 days or whatever until they hatch, and they hatch. Yep. What have you got? I mean, how many things in life are there that give you that constant something to look forward to ahead. Year after year after year.
Yeah, it never stops.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm so passionate about it. That's why I'm still so passionate about it. In my world, we're just getting started. Because as you've seen today, you've seen some really cool snags. But in my mind, those are just ingredients.
Building blocks for the next.
Building blocks for the next. And the stuff that's going to be produced down the road is so exciting.
It's absolutely stunning. Every single drawer you open up in this place just completely blows you away. I've been keeping ball pythons for a long time, and sometimes when I leave a collection like this, it's almost like I want to give up. I'm like, oh my God, he has so much cool stuff. But take a look at this animal right here. This is actually a banana, enchi, spider, cinnamon. Now that's a great combo. Of course, the banana, the cinnamon, the enchi, and the spider are all dominant or incomplete dominant or co-dominant animals. So that's a 4-gene animal that put together is absolutely stunning. And the enchi and the banana react really well together, and the enchi and the spider react really well together. Then you add that cinnamon gene in there, it just gives it another layer. That thing is gorgeous. And again, it's really cool as it's gotten older. As a baby, it probably doesn't have nearly as much orange. Now that it's gotten older, oh my God, this thing pops. This place is driving me crazy. I think I want to just take them all home. Oh, this is a cool animal here. Leopard genes are one of my favorite mutations. I just love how they jumble up the pattern really good. This happens to be a banana leopard, which is even cooler because it's got that banana gene in it. And of course, a couple shows ago, I talked about the leopard gene, and I thought that they had been linked to piebaldism because the first leopards were actually leopard pieds and leopard het pieds. Well, turns out that I was wrong, that I made a mistake. Leopards can actually be a leopard and not het for pied, which is pretty cool because then you can separate those genes. So this again happens to be a banana leopard, which is just really awesome, but there's one step further here, and this thing is absolutely ridiculous here. Take a look at this. Now, I've talked in the past about the fact that I love black pastel and cinnamon bananas. This happens to be a black pastel banana with the leopard gene attached to it. So it kind of not only is that beautiful purple, but it's got all those crazy patterns in the side, which is what the leopard does. And man, this thing is absolutely cool. I just got to imagine when you cross this maybe into spider, which the leopard and spider is really cool, it would even be that much cooler, but who knows? I mean, you start putting these genes together and they just start going completely wacko, but that is one really cool snake. And take a look at this animal here. This goes back to kind of understanding the leopard gene and how it works. Again, originally a lot of people thought it was het pied, now obviously it's not het pied, but this is actually a super leopard, which again, prior to right now, didn't even know they existed. I thought that leopard was maybe like a spider or a pinstripe where it was incomplete dominant and there was no super version. But for the last 3 seasons, this male super leopard has produced 100% leopard. So I would say after 3 seasons and that many babies, it's pretty much for sure a super. So it's kind of cool to think that a leopard now can be bred into something with the super gene and every baby is going to be leopard. That really unlocks a lot more potential. It basically doubles your odds. You know, that is pretty cool. And now I guess I've learned something about leopards. One of the things that's always cool when you travel around to other collections is to kind of see people working projects, sometimes that you didn't even know existed. And it seems like most ball python breeders have that kind of pet project. Sometimes they're really cool and sometimes they're just kind of average. This one is actually pretty cool. This happens to be a Java animal, but this is a super Java piebald actually. And we all know that the panda pies are beautiful animals with that almost black and white, but there doesn't seem to be too many of them produced, and a lot of that is because genetically the panda pies sometimes have issues. The super black pastels and super cinnamon sometimes can have some deformities, and for whatever reason you mix it into pies, sometimes it's harder. There have been a handful more panda pies produced recently, but I think this is a kind of a key to something brand new. And again, this is a super Java piebald ball python. Now, of course, breeding this into other things may actually increase the color as well. Maybe you'll get an all purple and white snake, or maybe an all red and white snake. There's some pretty cool future involved, and I tell you, no matter how many times I see a ball python that's black and white, like this super Java pied, man, I tell you what, it just blows my mind. So Mark, show me one of your favorite snakes.
Okay, well, the snake that I look forward to showing people the most is one that obviously people haven't seen that often. But I have a snake here that kind of has an interesting story behind it. I call it the White Walker, and the reason I call it the White Walker is because I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. The reason I called it the White Walker is because people think all these genes are done. But when these genes came together, it created a snake that is mind-boggling. The genes that make up this snake are genes that most people have forgotten about and would primarily say are no longer useful in the industry. There's more modern genes out there, but I'm out to prove them wrong.
Well, there's certainly no secret that Markus Jayne ball pythons promotes orange dream animals. Let's face it, their logo is orange. He walks around with an orange band on his watch. The snake is beautifully orange, and between me and you, I'm not supposed to say this, but I think he wears orange underwear too, but that's beside the point. The fact is, this is a super orange dream fire, and you can see why he loves the orange dream so much. Not only is a lot of those animals really beautifully orange, this particular one is just super clean, and that's something that a lot of ball pythons really need. Take for instance like axanthics and quite a few projects, they kind of muddy up when they get older. You breed that into this and clean that up, that's gonna make for a beautiful animal. So the orange dream, and in particular the super orange dream stuff, is unbelievable when it comes to really cleaning animals up and making them completely stunning. Not to mention, oftentimes it reduces pattern too. So I tell you, it's a cool animal, and I totally know why Mark loves it. I tell you guys, I have seen a ton of snakes that I completely fell in love with, but I have to say this is probably my favorite. And I know I say that all the time when I say, oh, this is my favorite, but truly, this may be my favorite snake that I've seen today. It is absolutely breathtaking. This is actually a super orange dream fire spider yellow belly. So that's a bunch of different genes going on, but together, oh my God. And the orange dream and the spider react really, really well together. So it really reduces things out. And then you get the super orange dream, and it's even more reduced. And you get that completely blown out head. And of course the fire is gonna brighten it up, and the yellow belly just makes it kind of crazy. Look at all the white and the sides. This is not only a super clean animal, but it's a super beautiful animal. Wow, man. I could have never imagined ball pythons to look this cool. Now, what do you see the future of Markus Jayne? I mean, what is 5 years out going to look like?
As far as Markus Jayne goes, what I'm trying to do is to create a product that is a brand, so that when people say, oh, we have some ball pythons here, and here's a Markus Jayne, that's what I want to be.
Right.
Everything that I've done tries to take the darkness out of the industry. I mean, let's face it, we're fighting an uphill battle.
Sure.
People that don't know snake breeders, people that don't understand why we keep these animals, they think we're all freaks in a way.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I've tried to take the darkness out of the industry. Yeah,
it's all about the brand recognition, and that's admirable. So it's yeah, I tell you, this has been amazing, dude. I mean, it's just great spending time and getting to see the way you do it. So proficient, and systems very, very keyed in, and it's inspiring for someone like me that has been doing it for 20-something years, and you know, seeing how much I have to learn too. You know, so thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, man.
Anytime.
So Mark works with a handful of other animals, including some pretty amazing boa constrictors, and this one really caught my eye. This happens to be a ladderback albino, but you know, initially I was thinking it had to be a sunglow or something really cool, because look at the red on that tail. I gotta tell you, she's a beastie, man. She weighs some pounds too. Now the ladderback is actually a visual het for a Roswell, and of course the albino is just a recessive mutation, but this is one cool animal, and I gotta tell you, this thing's got to be 25 or 30 pounds of just complete dead weight. This is a super cool animal. I tell you, I loved my trip here to Mark's place. Me and him have been friends for years, and this is the first time I've actually seen his collection. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. And as always, I was Facebooking and tweeting my way through it. So make sure to follow me over at SnakeBytesTV and on Instagram at SnakeBytes.tv. Until next week, you've been watching Snake Bites.
Hi, I'm Peter Birch, an Aussie bloke who loves wildlife. My respect for nature started when I was a young boy in rural New South Wales. Since then, it's exploded into an obsession. New episodes every Thursday only on Animal Bites TV.